Hi everybody, Scott Cunningham from Cunningham Realty. Thanks for taking the time to stop in and check out this video today. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do a little bit of a shorter video here, and we're going to talk about closing dates. What is a closing date? Well, closing date's not real complicated. Closing date is the date in which you go to the title company. In most cases, title company. Sometimes it's held at a lender's office. We've done them in a couple of restaurants, but most of the time a closing is done at the title company. And that's when the buyers and sellers do all their paperwork, and the buyers hand over a check, sign all kinds of paperwork, and they are the new legal owners of a home. So that is a closing. Now, who decides on the date? Well, that can be a negotiation between the buyer and the seller. When we write an offer for a buyer, one of the things that needs to be in the offer to purchase is, hey, buyers, when do you want to close? Some buyers have got a particular date they have to close. Maybe they're moving out of a rental and they've got to be out on such and such date. And obviously we throw that in there. And then the sellers can decide whether that will work for them or whether it won't. The seller does have the option to counter offer back if they want to. So let's say we write up an offer and we put down a closing date of March 15th, and the sellers go, it doesn't work for us, let's do March 17th. They could counter offer back, and then at that point the buyers can go, yeah, that works, or no, it doesn't. So it's obviously negotiable. One thing that we really promote with our buyers is if you're not stuck and you have to close on a particular exact day, what we usually do is ask our buyers and say, if you're flexible, would you be okay with us calling the agent for the seller and asking that agent, hey, what closing date works good for the sellers? Because there's a lot of times where the sellers would love some flexibility. They're really, really nervous. It's like, oh my God, we don't want to move out until April 1st. What if somebody writes an offer and says, we got to close on March 15th. We don't know what we're going to do. It's not going to work for us, blah, blah, blah. So whenever we can, if you as a buyer, or if our buyers have the flexibility, we'll call that listing agent and go, hey, when works for the sellers? And we'll try to come up with a date ahead of time before we write the offer or before we actually submit the offer to try to come up with a time that works really good for the buyers and the sellers. And there are times that can be pretty advantageous for a buyer. There's times where we've had it where a buyer writes an offer and there's two other offers in there. And the other two offers, maybe they got a really, really, really hard closing date and it doesn't work for the sellers, but yet maybe we wrote the offer, hopefully we wrote the offer where the buyer was willing to give the seller that flexibility and was willing to hit their closing date. That can give a buyer a leg up quite often. Not always, but quite often. So can that sway the sellers? Yeah, pretty often it does. What if there's a home sale contingency? Well, obviously that would need to be factored in. If you are looking to buy a home and you have a home to sell, we'll usually push that closing date out a little bit further because in most cases it's going to take you, if your home's not already on the market, doesn't already have an accepted offer, it's probably going to take you a little while to get the house cleaned up, ready to go, get it listed, get it on the market. Obviously, we're hoping we'll be your realtors to do that for you. We need to come and take pictures and write down information about it and stuff. And then we need to get showings set up. We need to get offers. We need to get accepted offers, financing, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot to it. So that closing date, usually, if you've got a home to sell, will normally be pushed back a little bit. One popular question is, how much time does a lender need? Well, it depends on the lender, depends on the type of loan you're doing. Occasionally, we'll have times where a lender can be ready in as quick as 3 weeks. We had a really rare case a few months ago where a lender closed in it was a week and a half or 2 weeks. But that was very, very rare situation. The appraisal was already done, and there were some things there that made that one kind of a real, very rare situation. Most of the time, lenders are asking for 35 to 45 days. Again, on most loans, there are times they'll ask for more. There's times they'll take less, but 35 to 45 is kind of the average. So that's kind of some information about a closing date. Hopefully it was useful to you. You know, if we can help you out with anything, where you got questions you want to ask about real estate, you're looking to buy, looking to sell, maybe a combination of two, please get a hold of us. You can give me a call or shoot me a text at 715-296-7557. Check out our new website, teamcunninghamwi.com. Gretchen redid our website this fall, did a fantastic job, and she's constantly tweaking it, making it better and better all the time. If you would, please give us a thumbs up, like this, share this video. We really, really would appreciate that. If you look below the screen here, if you've not done so, please hit the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. The more people subscribe to it, the more people it gets sent to, the more people that we can help. So again, appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Hope you're having a great day, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. Bye now.